Hi, this is Eric Naylor from Minnesota Kung Fu and Kung Fu. I'm here visiting Scott Johnson's school, and we're going to show a couple techniques against someone who's throwing a combination. So basically, a lot of people have trouble dealing with a fast combination of strikes. The key is when he's throwing a jab or a cross or some combination, if I start blocking and then he throws the next section and he throws the next section, I can block that, but eventually I'm going to get hit because there's nothing stopping him from going to tee off harder and faster and just keep coming after me until I make a mistake. And I will make a mistake eventually because I'm playing catch up because I don't actually know what he's doing next. So at some point I'm going to think one thing's coming in and it's going to come in a different area. So the key to fighting someone who's throwing quick combinations is stopping their combination, breaking their rhythm, breaking their flow. So that if he's throwing that jab or whatever the first technique is, it doesn't really matter what it is, I need to get a counterattack back on him before he gets that cross off. So I'll show a few different examples. The specific technique is less important than the idea that when his jab's finishing, I want to already be hitting him. If he retracts that and then I'm hitting him, it's too late because his second move's coming. That's when I have to then deal with that, and still at that point I need to try and hit him, otherwise he's going to keep coming. Now this is a little bit easier in street fighting than in sparring, because in sparring a lot of times people stay outside of distance, which makes it harder to close distance and get away from their hand, which is one of the keys to avoiding the second strike, is getting to their flank. It's easier if we're fighting from this distance than from this distance to get to his side or back. Also, people aren't committing to a strike in sparring, they're just doing quick, flicking something out there. So that's harder to deal with if they're doing quick retraction than if they're really trying to take your head off. Having said that, it doesn't mean you can't do it. The main thing that turns sparring into tag, where you hit and jump away, which I don't really like, is because you're not hurting your opponent. If I hit him on my first strike, that's what I'm trying to short circuit his brain to prevent the second strike coming. Now, someone who's a really trained professional fighter might, if you don't knock them out, they might take the shot and still throw the combination. But your average person, when they get hit, it breaks their flow, at least for a fraction of a second. It might only be a tenth of a second, but momentarily they're going to hesitate before throwing another strike. So, the simplest thing, if he's throwing a punch, is to not be here. You're evading it just by moving away from it. Problem with the moving away is you don't have a counterattack, so he's just going to keep chasing after me, and I'm going to get overrun at some point. So to prevent that, when he throws that punch, I'm going to throw a kick to his knee. Obviously, don't want to do that necessarily if you're doing friendly sparring. Don't want to blow someone's knee out or hurt someone. So pull it short or touch on the thigh, but don't actually make contact to the knee. That's not going to necessarily end the fight, but again, short circuits, throws a punch, short circuits the combination, so when I get this, so then I can move forward and throw my own combination while he momentarily is distracted by the pain or the buckling of his structure. So if you throw it fast, fast. So here, now step back a little bit and move within range. See, I'm just going to move back and hit. So as he moves forward, I maintain my distance and kick. Not very hard to do, especially if you don't have fast hands. It's a good option. I'm just kicking with my heel. Another option would be, as this punch comes in, again before a second one comes, I'm going to step off to the side. I'm going to get some control of this to make sure that elbow doesn't come. Then I'm going to throw a counter strike here. So slow. Basic technique there. Stepping offline, hit, countering. The hardest thing to do is synchronize everything at the same time. So your hip is generating the power from your legs through your body, and then throw fast. So basically that. So he's going to throw right at my face. I'm moving offline. So it doesn't matter. Obviously, if you're going to practice this, don't go full speed to aim at his face. But basically, when this is coming, I'm moving off. So it's really not that hard. If we're already at this distance, the speed is too quick. At this distance, you need to be touching them or attacking, because you don't have the time to visually recognize it. So realize too, you need to be at a distance where we're out here at a boxing range where he has to move forward a little bit to hit me. If If we're this close, the reaction speed isn't such that you're going to be able to deal with it no matter what you're doing on technique very easily. So again, we're here, he's going to throw fast. I'm here. Doesn't matter, my evasion is what's getting me out of the way. This doesn't matter if he even makes contact. If I miss, and it just comes here at the end, that's fine. I'm preventing from coming out again. Obviously this is not going to stop him, that's just the first move. I would then need to follow up with something else afterwards. But right now we're talking about short circuiting the first move. Okay, so that would be another option, just stepping off and hitting. Another option, slow, he's punching this out and making contact here. I'm moving aside and then hitting to your ribs or head. So slow again, basically here. Fast, here, and punch right in the face. So, again, I know what's happening, but if you develop the reactions, as long as you react with something and they don't get hit and you can throw a counter attack back, that's what makes it work. It's definitely doable. You see it all the times in sports, people blocking. I did fencing for years. The sword speed is faster than hand speed, and people parry foils all the time. So you can definitely parry or block a hand coming in if you block the foil, because the speed is actually slower on it. So it's just a matter of gaining the frame of mind to, again, be at a distance where you have time to react, have the ability to see. Usually I'm looking towards the center here so I can see arms and legs both, so whatever comes I can react to it. So that then, again, even if he's throwing a combination, throw a combination just in there once. Even if he's throwing a combination, the key is on that first move when he throws it, I'm moving off and hitting and short circuiting before the rest of the combination can happen. So you don't have to defend every move in the combination, you just have to defend the first one and counterattack. Of course, if something goes wrong, you have to be ready to defend the second move. Anyways, thanks.